talk to you about the triangle. Usually I get out some stuff. Imagine that there's a triangle being built with your feet. Right? Imagine there's a triangle right here, here. Triangle formed there, there. Yeah. So my foot is at the tip of the triangle. So my first goal when I'm trying to throw you, what's going to make my life easiest for you is if I can take you into both feet being at the base of the triangle. Right? So right now you're not in a triangle. Right? Your back foot, your base is not in a triangle. Okay? So my very first theoretical thing that I'm looking to do, more than anything else, right, is what am I trying to get your feet to? Right? We talked about gripping. We have traditional gripping. So I grip. Okay? So I use my grip in order to try to get you to the triangle. So I will pull you this way. Now, you overstepped a little bit, but I can work here. Right? Yeah. To there. So my goal is to get you into the triangle, right? And I can do that by pushing, right? Here, see, look, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Isosceles triangles, right? Whatever. But I'm trying to form my foot into a triangle. That is, again, I always talk about visual cues, right? That's my visual cue. Is if I can get you to step, and I can step myself too, right? And there's just different ways to do it. If I pull you, look, now you're in the triangle. Right? Now is the perfect time to throw. Because if you just stay there, don't move, look how off balance, how easy it is to off balance you with your foot. Right? Same thing when you set that foot back and from base. Right? But if I can then pull you square, see the difference in balance? Right? That's what I'm looking for. It's a pull, getting to a square, and then attack. Okay? Right? So let's say that we're going to do the traditional outside trip. Okay? Okay? So I'm in traditional style here. Okay? One thing I can do is I can use my elbow inside the arm. Times when, like I always say, I want to get this high grip, but it's a hard grip to get. Okay? I spend a lot of time fighting to try to get it. That's not always, you're not always going to get it. So when I'm in this position here, and we have traditional judo grips, one way that I can help get my, especially when I know which direction that I'm going to throw, I can start getting my elbow inside and like here. Right? So I was talking about driving the bus. But I can do that same driving the bus here as well. Right? I'm just doing it this way, as opposed to doing that way. You're not going to do it in real life, right? When you're trying to throw someone, they're crowding you, right? Like it's never just perfectly like this, right? And so a great motion to do is to bring your elbow inside the arm. Now that's already off balancing you, right? So that's a great detail to work that elbow inside when they're crowding you and you don't have that distance. Or outside. So right here, traditional style, pull to the triangle, elbow in, and then I just step. Very basic, very highly effective. So I'll see a traditional because I'm actually like you. I like 95% of people that you're going to go against are going to go left leg forward. So it's just a skill, and you can do it both sides, right? It's just a skill of getting them to step whichever way back. It's usually through, like I said, push and the pull. Right? So we're traditional, same side, here. So you're trying to get me to step into the triangle, so you're going to pull this one. Yeah, that's pretty good. Right? And see, the only thing that would be better is if your foot were at the apex. And it's got a slightly over there. See, because that way it's more of a straight line. Yeah, exactly. want to be there. Yeah. Because if you step back here, right? Because this is technically like a tiny flat triangle. You go to try to step outside, and I can start countering you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Your base is going to be the best when we're like the perfect triangle. That makes sense. So if I'm square and you're at a perfect triangle, maybe even step it up just a little bit more. Get not rip me, right? And I go to try to off balance you, you get a good base, right? It's going to be hard. Like I can't really drive you at all from here, right? When you start trying to just push me back, like I feel like I'm going to fall. Yeah, that makes sense. But if you're closer, right? You're here. I have more leverage, and partly because I'm taller, right? So when you crowd like that, and it's not that perfect triangle, I can use my height to start elevating and off balancing. Does that make sense?
So that's kind of
For sure, it can be. Yeah, 100%. It's all about it's all about the ability to off balance, right? It's just like we talked about before with your height difference. When you're tall, and I'm taller than you, it doesn't make sense for you to try and go puppet strings on me, right? Like if I'm here, you're trying to make me on my tippy toes. Yeah, if you're trying to put me on my tippy toes here, it doesn't work. But I can do it to you, right? I make you lighter by pulling you up, right? So for you, you want to be cautious. The thing about it is this, think of it this way. In wrestling, crowding out is better for you because you're in a low stance, low center of gravity, right? So if we're here and we're head-to-head wrestling style, right? You're trying to get low and I'm trying to get low. And I'm trying to get my butt. It's harder for me to get into a deep squat lower than you. So when we're playing get low game, you have the advantage, right? Use your center of gravity, my shitty ankles, my lack of mobility. I can't get quite as low, right? But if we're playing the get high game, I have the advantage. So it's about avoiding my advantages and playing good. One way to do that is making sure your distance is proper. Same thing like if we were striking, right? I have an advantage at a longer distance striking. You would have an advantage in the pocket, right? But for takedowns, it's going to be the opposite. When I'm here, right, you're trying to take me down, so I try to off balance you. So I see what you got to step back to do it, right? Right? We're here, ready? Because I can get up and down and over you on the posture. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, step one, we're going to connect. Step two, pull to triangle. Boom, perfect triangle. From here, you can snap down, and then as you step out, pull up. That makes sense? Yeah. So rather than going up first, you can just go down first, step out, and then go up as you finish the throw.
Right. Snap down.
Right. That's the Randall. Right. That's the biggest thing. You're never going to throw someone, because I mean, you've done it, you've seen it, right? White belts will come out, and they both hunker down, right? So you got to start moving back and forth. Wait till the triangle, come up. It's like I've seen it before.
I was there thinking the whole thing.
I mean, like I've been there. I know how it is. Right? It just happens. The parasympathetic nervous system takes over, and your instincts kick in, and you're like, you do everything wrong. And you look at the film later, and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? You're like, I know better than this.
Like thinking that a lot. I'm not doing right.
I do tell you exactly what he said not to do. But it's just like, I mean, it's just think, you just have to contextualize it. Like, it's just like warm-ups, right? Yeah. You just haven't done. You talk about it's just like, when I say, we're going to Granby today, don't move your head away from your knees. What's the first thing people do? Move your head away from your knees. It's just predictable because you're not quite conditioned yet. Now it's just about building that conditioning where you do the reps so many times like this, that really makes sense. But it also helps to have a more of an understanding, because now that you have some of the components, what's the grips, how do I step, now you can start thinking conceptually. Oh, now I can think about how to do it. How do I outbalance them? I get them to step score, right? Yeah. And when you feel a little bit less pressure because you're competing before, now you start to look for it, right? Under high pressure, you'll be able to calm down for a second, go hard for a minute, get something up, get back up, and like, okay, now I know.
Yeah.
And that's a very internal thing. Yeah, it's a very internal thing. Like, it's not really something that I can coach. Other than like because I can't feel it for you. Right? And so it's just like, it's like having a spidey sense, right? Yeah. Over time, you're like, okay, he's pushing on me. No, I'll be able to push on him right now. He resisted it now. Okay. So, all right. Let's drill that one. So I'm going to do that one 2 more times. Then I want to add something. So traditional. And then we're turning it into a square. Yeah. Now, come up. Nope. Yeah. But you're wanting to step. Yeah, you want to step your outside foot here and you go to this way. Yeah. No, it's the same one. So if I'm here, the hole. Yeah, so we're going to the side that's controlling the elbow. I would not be throwing to the side. So the armpit is this one. So this one here, this one here. This one here. Here we step. So right here. Right? The foot that you're trying to get me to step with, that's the one that you're tapping. Right? Here. Right? So you're bring this elbow in. Don't go up. I want you to bring it into the armpit like that. Yep. Now step your left leg far outside. Yeah. Now it's a swing through. But you almost know how to throw somebody. Good. That makes sense. Yeah, that's I think that it's probably because I was doing the same thing. Yeah. And again,
I didn't really notice it.
Yeah, this is traditional stance.
Yeah.
I just stand southpaw. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I do not like standing traditional type style. I like it.
You like to switch a lot?
I switch a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this standing at a southpaw stance, like.
Yeah, I love to switch because I just step and then come in. And I actually had a couple of sparring sessions recently where I only stand traditional. Just so I work them.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Let's do it again. Let's put it all together. Here, here, pulling me, bringing this elbow in. So don't just go up. I want you to bring that elbow into the arm and get forward. Yeah. All right. So that's outside trip. That motion here. Now we're gonna go same thing, same concept, right? Step to triangle, elbow in, but this time I'm gonna be going inside trip. So inside trip. Here, here. For you, you'll actually see this when you're tapping on here, thing about being southpaw is traditional. So you see it traditional here, yeah, I have to step here, right, and then I would have to back step. Yeah. So the only time that we ever cross our feet is in that scenario, like in fighting technique, right? Anytime, like you ever take Brian's class or whatever, we never cross our feet out here, right? The only time we ever cross our feet is to move when we're close together or to change the angle, right? If we're going to go for an Uchimata here, right? I need to get this foot inside your legs, right? But I don't want to just pick it up and come here. So what I have to do is I would back step. See how it's turn my hips, right? That's the only time we ever cross our feet. A split second we need to close the distance into your hips. That makes sense. That's the only time you should cross your feet. Any other time you cross your feet is wrong, right? It's just bad base. This is just not good, right? Have you ever seen a really cute girl in a skirt give a speech? They'll stand like this because they're nervous, and I'm always afraid that they're going to fall over in the middle of it. Bad base. In public speaking, we actually teach, especially women, so they always take women across their feet like this. And it's like, you could fall over. Like, don't stand like that. Like, always have your base. Over here, traditional, right? Bringing you to step. Now I'm going to inside trip, right? But I don't see how my hips are so far away from you, right? So that's why I'll cross my feet. You see how it closes the distance, right? So step, slide, back step, and as I back step, I come in. You seem surprised at that word.
I heard like foot and down, but I didn't think that you were gonna like I thought you were gonna do the one where you grab me over here.
No. Inside trip. So hold your guard. And I'm literally all I'm doing is making like a crescent set. Crescent shape. Right? I'm coming in. Square. Right? You just have square. Right? I can't make that good crescent step here. Does that make sense? This hip is too far away. Slide back step. In. Out. Here. Yeah. So if I'm doing it this way, I'm doing you stand traditional. So you stand traditional, and I'm standing southpaw. And you step here. So what I would do is that I'll reach here. I take my lead foot, that's my step, short step, cross step. Yeah, so I step it, because I got to close the distance, right? And I don't want to jump into here. So step up. Yeah, the back foot over the foot. On the backing, the one with the elbow. Here. Because I could attack either. I could attack either. That's the thing. We're just thinking about a triangle, right? Cut it right down the middle. I could do either. I could out of southpaw, right? And that's the thing too is if I'm close, I don't have to do the back step. I just close the distance. Does that make sense? The only time that you do the figure 8 is when you're attacking with your back step. Okay? If I'm attacking this way, I need to do, I have to do from here, one traditional. one, we're attacking with the back leg. Right? So here's what we're going to be doing. Yeah. So actually, here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you. What we're going to be doing here. So I'm standing southpaw. You're standing straight. I'm going to pull you. Okay. I'm going to back step. I'm going to trip with my lead leg. What we're going to do is we're going to pair this together. Here's number one. Okay. Then we're going to pair it with the first throw. Right? Because you're going to react. I'm going to step, pull, inside trip, you back step before I can get there. Inside step, outside throw. Inside step, outside throw. Standing southpaw. You're standing southpaw. Yes. Step. Back step. Inside trip. Step it up. Step. I go for the inside trip. You back step. See how that links together? Reaction, hit the other one, right? That is the key principle that you can learn from judo today, is that avoiding the attack places all of the weight on the other leg, right? And if you don't want to get tripped, I come in here, and I come in for this, what happens? All of your weight is where? On this foot. So as you're trying to resist, I now attack your weighted foot. You have no choice but to do that. That's the number one, if you could boil down judo into one primary idea, which is trick them into getting all their weight on one leg and then knock that part. Which is that it's the same as the tabletop principle. Right? You control your upper body. You're smart, so you're not going to post with your hand. Just try to stop the takedown. You're going to break your arm. Right? So what do you have? You have your feet. One is being attacked in the air. You have one post. Like find a way, inside trip, outside trip, knock that post down. And so the way that we make that easier is to get them square. Because now your weight is evenly distributed, and then I attack it. Because if I'm strong here, all my weight's on my lead leg, and now all my weight is shifted to my back leg, and I've moved distance from you to you. Right? So now you have to close the distance to try to attack that lead leg again. That makes sense. And the taller they are, the more distance they can cover. So you're chasing after them, trying to get to that weighted leg, which ends up being the back of that guy's lift. Right? Yeah, they hold you like this, and then you're trying to get to that leg, and what do? They move it away, and now all the weight was on their back leg, right? So the moment that they lift, where's all my weight? It's on this back leg. Well, look at the distance. Like if I'm